Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Exploring Photography right here on Adorama TV. I'm Mark Wallace here in Cape Town, South Africa, and behind me here is Table Mountain. It's one of the most iconic landmarks in all of Africa, and today I'm going to shoot a photo of this landmark. The problem is we have this slight drizzle, we have clouds that are moving in and out, we have all kinds of weather issues, and so I'm not sure exactly what's going to work out with this photo. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot for coverage, and that means I'm going to shoot several different ways to make sure that I get something that I can use. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a panorama. Now down below me, this is called the Bowl of Cape Town. It's the actual city. Now over here you can see the sea. The problem with this is this scene behind me is about 2 stops brighter than the actual Table Mountain back here, and so I'm not sure if a panorama is actually going to work, but we're going to try it. The other thing I can do is we see these clouds coming onto Table Mountain here. I can shoot with a long lens to maybe get something that's very specific to that, and that'll be really cool. Or I can also shoot down into the city itself. We've got these rooftops, all kinds of things here. So there are 3 different ways that we can shoot this, and one of them has to work out. So join me as I try to create some photos of this iconic shot of Table Mountain. Well, the good news is here in Cape Town, if you don't like the weather, you wait 10 minutes. That's what Elsa told me. And so we did wait 10 minutes, and now we have bright sunlight, which is good for us. And so we have an even exposure from the mountain out to the coast. That's awesome. So the way that I'm shooting this, I have my camera set to ISO 200 f8. I'm focused, manual focus at hyperfocal. If you don't know what hyperfocal is, then click. We have a link up here so you can see that episode that explains what hyperfocal focusing is. And then I'm shooting at about 500, looks like 1,000th of a second, which is really nice. That means I don't need a tripod. I can shoot this at 1,000th of a second, handheld, no problem. So the strategy here is instead of shooting a bunch of photos horizontally, I'm going to move my camera vertically, and that means I have these smaller, taller slices that I can put together for a much higher resolution image than if I shot maybe 2 or 3 horizontal images. That also gives me a lot better leeway if I get things wrong with my camera angle, and so once I stitch everything together, I can crop out the bad parts. All right, so we have our camera set to manual mode, 1,000th of a second, manual focus, hyperfocal. The other thing I need to do is when I'm taking these vertical shots for this panorama to work is I need to make sure once I have one shot, I overlap the second shot considerably and overlap the next shot, overlap the next shot, because if I don't overlap enough, then Photoshop's going to have a hard time figuring out which image goes where. So overlap more than less. All right, now that we have all that done, I'm going to shoot this and then we'll throw it together in Photoshop and make sure it works out just fine. So here we go. I'm going to first, by the way, make sure that I know exactly where to put the camera and then start shooting. Click, click. Now I've switched to a normal 21mm wide-angle lens, and I'm going to try to shoot this mountain. Now, here's the key. With the wide-angle lens, you need foreground interest. You need something to pull you into the frame. So I could shoot just like this, standing up, and take a picture of, here's Table Mountain. Blah. That's not so good because there's nothing to lead our eye into the photo. So what I should do is sort of crouch down here like this. Now I have all these little flowers here, and that is my foreground interest, and that is going to make this a much more pleasing photo. So let's take a look at the first photo with me standing up compared to the second photo with that foreground interest that leads us into the frame. So when you're shooting a big panorama like this, make sure with the wide angle lens that you find something that will lead your eye into the frame. Well, my third option for shooting this scene is a long lens. This is a 135mm lens. So we've done our wide angle, we've done our panorama. So what I'm doing now is I'm looking for little scenes down in the city and up on the mountain there to isolate the subject. So I'm not trying to tell the entire story, I'm just trying to tell a very specific part of that story, maybe clouds on the top of the mountain, rooftops, the flowers, etc. So I'm just going to look around here and see what is interesting to me in my eye, and I'm going to start taking pictures. I'm shooting again at f8 aperture priority mode at ISO 200. So let me shoot around and see what kind of stories I can find with my long lens. Well, there we have 3 different approaches to shooting Table Mountain: the panorama, the wide angle lens, the long lens. Now, I have to say that this location here on Signal Mountain, I didn't just find it. I found it through a friend of mine. Her name is Elsa Hoffmann. Elsa, come on over. Elsa is the owner of PhotoToursCapeTown.com, and she actually took me all around Cape Town and showed me different things that we could shoot. We shot penguins, we shot the bay, we shot the harbor, all kinds of different things. And one of the things, if you're a traveling photographer, that you might want to consider is to find a local that will show you around a city so you know exactly what to shoot and where, and save yourself time if you only have maybe an afternoon to get something. So Elsa, thank you so much. She also let me shoot in her studio, so controlling the shadows on the white background, and at her house. And so when we did the fake golden hour video, that was all at her place. So thank you so much. So make sure you check that out, PhotoToursCapeTown.com, and make sure you check out the Adorama Learning Center so you can learn all about hyperfocal focusing and all of the different things about making a panorama, etc. And also subscribe to Adorama TV. It's free. Have you done it? Yes, she's done it. So make sure you do it too. Thanks again, and I'll see you again next time.